Can we play a quick round of it right now to see if I'm good at it?
Yeah. And then I'll rate you after how good you are at it.
So do we just throw out a word?
Okay, so like you'd be like, oh, can we get a word from the audience? And they'd be like, pizza. And then you just start like miming some like freaking activity you're doing and be like, this pizza is so good, George.
And then I would say.
And then you'd be like, yeah, Carol, thank God we switched to pepperoni. See, I'm amazing at this.
Clearly.
So.
That's why I feel like improv is so hard, because you are literally thinking on your feet for however long. How long are you doing this for?
I feel like they always cut the scenes off like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
So you're going for a minute.
Yeah, but there's rules. Like you'll play games. So there's like improv games. So there's one game that's like, it's like a courtroom. And so everyone has their role in the courtroom and you play a character and like, but there's a structure to it that everybody on stage knows what the structure is going to be. You just fill in the information kind of. It's still very hard.
It makes you appreciate, is it Curb Your Enthusiasm? That was all improv? Not Curb Your, what's the Larry David show? Is it Curb?
Yeah.
Stand by.
The fact that this is not popping into my brain is embarrassing. But a lot of shows are all improv.
Yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It was all improv?
Like all improv. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I didn't know that there were a lot of shows that were improv.
I mean, a lot of shows and movies like are like comedians especially will improvise around the lines and like improvise through the scenes. Like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the movies that come from like SNL actors, they probably didn't say any of the lines that were on
I wonder if the people like that though, like, because I feel like the writers, they spend a lot of time writing and putting together these your scripts. Do they like when you veer from it?
I like it. Like when I was working on a project I can't speak about because of the strike. Like I like when an actor kind of like takes it and does their own thing with it. Like if I wrote a joke in there that I think is really funny, like say it at least in one take. But then like it's fun when people come up with their own stuff,
especially on the spot.
And then you get the credit if they say something funnier than what you wrote. So.
Oh. So you mentioned the strike, and I feel like there is a lot of misinformation that's being spread online right now, especially about the strike, because I feel like a lot of people are saying, oh, these millionaires want more money. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't understand that not every actor or actress is a millionaire. So can you just break down the strike as to what's going on, and just dispel all of those rumors? Millionaires want more money.
I mean, the strike is not for the millionaires. I mean, I can understand why you would think that, because a lot of the like spokespeople for this strike are the successful actors in the union, like the ones speaking at the rallies and this, that. And you're like, wait, why are you asking for more money? You have plenty of money. But the strike is for people who are not starring in the TV shows, or are starring in the TV shows, but aren't famous enough to be making like $1 million an episode or something. People doing guest stars, doing co-stars. It's gotten so ridiculous, the way that the streaming contracts are happening and the way that actors are being paid out. Like, it used to be that everything was cable, right? And so the networks, they can afford to pay you SAG day rate, which it's not enough to survive on, but it's enough for like a day.
Work,
and then you'd get residuals on those shows. So every time your face appeared on TV, you would get a certain amount of money for that appearance. And that's how actors survived. Now with streaming, they're cutting deals with outside production companies. So actors are going under these ultra low contracts because it's like a production company that only has this amount of budget and the budget's too small. So they're negotiating these contracts that were really made for YouTube, for people to be able to cast, for like small creators to be able to cast SAG actors in their YouTube things and their independent things and not have to pay them, a rate they can't afford. But now what's happening is these projects are being made for that cheap. And then they're selling them to the streaming services and they're making loads and loads of money on them. And the actors are not seeing any of that. And I'm not talking about the famous actors. I'm talking about people like me. You know?
Well, it's interesting. I heard one report that these studios want to scan people's and background actors' faces for
Yeah.
AI and use it indefinitely.
And that's really scary because a lot of times like people come to Hollywood, they're doing background work, they really like they're just excited to get a job and they're not really like digging into the contract that they're signing. So if
Hmm.
they throw some AI contract like agreement in there, then that person's likeliness can be used for forever without any more compensation. That's really scary. Another really scary thing with AI is that they could go in and change your performance. They could like use the facial manipulation. They could change your performance. They can change what the words you say. Like we're talking about the improv. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. There's a lot of creativity that comes with playing a role, and if they're going back in and like changing your lines, changing performance, then they're changing your art, and I think that's just as scary to me as them like stealing your likeliness, is being able to change your art after the fact because the the studio people are not necessarily the best artists all of the time.
Yeah, I 100%. And so the fact that they would change your art into
Yeah.
something else that may not be something that you're aligned with,
Right,
I think
they can make you say anything.
right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you cleared that up because I'm sure I don't know if you spend a lot of time on TikTok just looking at people and what they're saying about the strike and things like
Yeah.
that. It was really disheartening.
It is disheartening and it's sad too because I know that like with the way that inflation is, so many people are struggling, so it's almost this thing of like, well, why do you need the help? You guys are actors. Like the nurses need the help, the teachers need the help, like all these other and it's like everybody needs the money back into the economy. Like
Correct.
we're all fighting for the money to just like be redistributed even just like a little bit back down to the people making all this money, for you. Like it's absurd. I think it was like the president of Disney, I think it was $65 million is what he made last year.
Mm.
And like, wouldn't 20 be enough? I don't know. Is like $20 million enough? Like, I don't know how many millions you need a year, but it's definitely not 65.
My thing is like after a certain amount, like what are you doing with the money anyway?
Exactly. I don't know. Like, pay the people who work for you.
It's just so sad when you sit down and you break down all of the numbers
Yeah.
and you see what the heads of these companies are making, you know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
fact that they may say how a strike is unrealistic for the business, they're hurting the business, they're not,
Mhm.
being considerate. But the fact that you're not doing anything to help out to make sure that they are able to not even live paycheck to paycheck, but pay their rent and make sure that their family is clothed and that they're
Right.
clothed. And I just think it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's the lack of empathy. Or maybe it's just like it's just a blindness. Like when you get to the top, like you don't maybe even see people as people anymore. I don't know what it is.
I wonder if it's more so not my monkey, not my circus. Like I'm already up here. Like
Yeah, maybe.
I
I
don't
don't.
ask to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is like I feel like, well, where are we gonna get this money from? Where are we gonna get this money from to pay these actors? And like, I don't think their brain even goes to like, well, not our salaries. Like,
Well,
definitely not our
well, not even
salaries.
that, but
Like,
I don't know if you know, but I feel like a lot of these companies, these streaming companies, have gone up in prices recently.
they
So
have.
it's like, where is this money going to?
Right, and they're still operating as if they're like in their startup modes.
Yeah.
They're still operating as if they're like the stepchild to cable when they're the main player. Things have changed.
So what do you think's going to happen?
I don't. I hope it ends in September, like they were hoping that it would. I don't know because it's sad on both sides. Because the longer we hold out, like the more people suffer, like without paychecks. But giving in, it's not like we can strike again next year. Like
Yeah.
we have to get this done now.
My
So
so my thing is, so what airs for the fall slate? Like just tons of reality shows?
I don't know. Yeah, like Too Hot to Handle, like 5 seasons of Too Hot to Handle.
That's what I'm worried about. Like, what's gonna air like next season?
Yeah.
Because I guess if they cast a reality show, those members don't necessarily have to be SAG, right?
No, No, reality show has. I think they have their own union, but
There's a
the
reality TV show union?
I believe so. And the only reason I know this is because I think Bethany Frankel said it on her TikTok. I have no information about reality TV besides I follow Bethany
Oh,
Frankel on TikTok.
I would be really interested to find out about that. Like if there's
Yeah.
like a reality
But
show
the people
union.
signing up for reality shows, like, they are not. They're just trying to get famous and get Instagram followers, right? So
Right.
they're not looking at their contracts too deeply.
Because I'm sure they are
Because if not you, we'll just find someone else who will sign it.
correct.
So,
How did you what made you think like, oh my gosh, let me get on TikTok?
what? Well, it seemed like a good platform for me. And like a lot of people were like, you should get on TikTok. You should get on TikTok. Because I was on YouTube for a while. I had a very failed, unsuccessful YouTube channel. But I think they saw the potential for
I'm not
TikTok
laughing
in
at
my.
you. I'm laughing at how you said it. Just to clarify that.
Yeah, I'm like a failed YouTuber. It's fine. It's
I mean,
fine.
it worked out okay.
It worked out. I've deleted a lot of the videos because they don't hold up. But
You just don't want people to see that.
yeah, I'm like, that is the least funny thing.
Totally.
Because I was trying to film it. I was editing it. I was lighting it myself. Like once you get into video production, like
It's a little sketchy.
yeah.
I get it.
But TikTok the video production is like just my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So like 2 weeks before the pandemic shut down
Right.
everything, which I didn't know was about to happen, I posted a TikTok and it got 14,000 views.
Shut up.
My first one. And that was more than I gotten on like 90% of my YouTube videos I ever posted. So I was like, it was almost like, like you got a hit. Now you want some more. So then I just started posting and then everything shut down for the pandemic. And I was like, well, I have nothing to do. Why not? Like I went and I lived, my husband now, fiance at the time, we moved in with his parents. And I was like, I have nothing to do. Why not make TikTok my full-time job and just see if I can gain some momentum?
Right.
So I was posting like 3 to 5 TikToks a day, good or bad, quantity over quality. And I had like a Hallmark parody video, like making fun of Hallmark movies, hit 1 million views. And then I started like getting a bunch of followers. And then like 6 months later, I had a video hit 15 million views. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Because it's also pandemic, so you don't even see anyone.
Right. It's funny because I feel like we were just craving for like things to watch, things to
Yeah.
do during the pandemic. And what's interesting is how the one thing that scares me about TikTok is constantly feeding the beast.
Yeah, I am feeling that now. Like I'm feeling a little worn out
Mm-hmm.
and I'm feeling like I need to reinvent and figuring out what that means and what that is.
Because you can't take a month off because then the followers start to like ask, where are you? Then they start to
Yeah.
drift off.
And then the algorithm turns on you.
Right. So it's like, what do you do? I think you just like constantly do videos and
Yeah.
then take a month off and then like post them as if you're doing them right now.
Yeah, I do. I will take a couple weeks off at a time. Like if I don't have any ideas now at this point, I just won't post. But I don't know, doing this like new comedy class is like re-inspiring my brain. So that's kind of exciting. I'm like, maybe I'll start posting like
New TikToks or something.
like new stuff. Yeah.
You make me want to take a comedy class.
Do it.
It seems fun. Like not the improv, but like, the whole sketch
Yeah.
writing class. Because I had no idea that there was an art to
you
that.
can't do the groundlings then because you have to do so many rounds of improv
Oh,
before
you
you do the
do?
sketch. Yeah.
Never mind, I'm out. What are you working on next?
I'm doing a lot of writing. Obviously not for anyone right now because there's a writer's strike.
Right.
But it's kind of cool because I'm just writing whatever the heck I want. So I'm writing a feature film that I'm like really into right now that I'm constantly thinking about. That's like a dark comedy.
We love.
I'm writing a Christmas movie that's really fun.
I hope it's
Um,
a parody of a Christmas movie because you know how those Christmas movies are always so like
I made a little like 15-minute teaser of a Christmas movie making fun of the woman in every Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I filmed it and we edited it and I sent it out, pitched it to everyone, being like, who wants to make my movie? And I got zero.
Zero?
Yeah. Everyone was like, no thanks.
I feel like it would do great on like a network that's not Hallmark.
Yeah, see, I almost thought like maybe it should be on Hallmark. Like maybe
You think so?
maybe they should have like one self-aware.
Because I feel like the movie is always the same, and the main character is always the same in like holiday movies.
Well, yeah, so it is, and so I was like taking that character and kind of putting her in the real world, like almost like an Enchanted feel.
Mm-hmm.
But there was that Vince Vaughn movie that came out this Christmas that was kind of a Hallmark movie parody. It was like a Hallmark movie, but they just used a lot of profanity.
Mm.
It was
Right up my
fun.
alley.
It was fun. I'm like, okay, Vince Vaughn is stalking me because he clearly stole my idea. How dare he's so jealous of me.
That is hilarious. Well, Nicole, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, so fun.
And stopping by and chatting and just breaking everything down for us.
And if I said anything that's not true, freaking deal with it.
Exactly.
I don't know. Don't
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.